GM. Today's lesson, I'm going to talk about being poor, coming from a low-income country, low-income background, and feeling like you have to take more risks to make it, in air quotes. So this is so common. This is probably one of the most common things I see from students I speak to. I'll use a real example, but it's from a while ago. A student would make $800 a month. They would live off $300, and they would lose $500. They would lose the rest of their money, their salary, every month in the markets because they couldn't. They literally said, "I don't do my back testing because I feel like I don't have time. I don't have time to build a system. I have my 500. The market's moving. I have to do it now because if I don't turn this 500 into $5,000 or 10 grand or 50 grand, then I can't make it. I can't escape the matrix. I can't do this, can't do that." Understand, all of that is just cope for being ill-disciplined and not delaying gratification. It is 100% a fact. It does not matter where you come from. It does not matter how low your income is. The market doesn't know you exist. The market doesn't know you're rich, you're poor. The market only knows, are you behaving in the right way? Are you behaving like a professional? This is so important because when you actually sit back rationally and analyze it, that student who wasted $500 every month was wasting $6,000 a year, and they only make $800 a month. And it was all because they didn't have a system. It wasn't because they were a bad trader, right? It wasn't as if they built systems and the systems didn't perform and then they failed as a systematic trader. They were just a gambler. They were never a trader to begin with. They just thought every month of this excess money and I have to make a lot of money. I cannot stress this enough. I will scream it at the top of my lungs until I am hoarse. The market does not care how much you need it. It's not a charity. There's no amount of wanting it. There's no amount of manifestation that's going to bring all this money to you. It is not going to happen. So to do it, you must do all the things that all of the professionals have done since the start of time, since the beginning of the markets, which is have a process, manage risk, and most of all, understand that it's going to take a long time to compound. So this sparked in my mind because people are often hesitant to put money in to dollar trading. Like, yeah, it's or something like this, right? Yeah, it's all right for you. You can afford TradingView. TradingView's $15 a month. You know, I only make $200 a week. Okay, great. But show me your statements. Where are you actually spending money? Because TradingView is a tool of the trade for a trader. It is not a nice thing to have. It is a requirement for a professional trader long-term to have TradingView. It is part of doing business. Paying a TradingView subscription is not a cost, right? It's not money that goes away and you get no return from it. There is value. You get return. It is an investment. You're investing in your ability to analyze and track and study the market over time with efficiency. Same thing with dollar trading. This is my biggest bugbear. Students will say to me, yeah, I don't have $20, I don't have $50, I don't have $100. It's not that easy to get $100 or $50 just to use for dollar trading. I say absolute bullshit. Bullshit. Because I've seen those same people, the same type, who will waste, they'll FOMO $100 on a trade and lose it. They'll FOMO into some shitcoin with $200 out of their salary. If you put $20, $30, $40 aside for dollar trading, that could last you for an entire year. You could take literally hundreds of trades of practice using $50 and become a fully fledged trader. And at the same time, instead of gambling your 500 excess every month, you save that. And at the end of that first year, you'd have $6,000 saved up that you didn't gamble away, and you'd know how to trade because you spent $20, $30, $40, $50 on dollar trading. It's all about perspective. And this is where I have I want to have sympathy, but I've just seen it so much. I can't have sympathy because everyone has control of their own life. Look, you cannot magically click your fingers and be in a rich family in a Western country that gives you loads of money. But at least almost all the successful people I know came from nothing. Started with nothing. They weren't handed anything. They weren't given a silver spoon. They had to make their money from scratch. As did I. Now, I grew up in a Western country. I didn't grow up poor by any means. But I had to make all the money I have. Right? No one ever handed anything to me. I had to buy my first car. Right? Something as simple as that. So you're not, like, it's not as if you're at this massive disadvantage. There are people who've started in the market with $2,000 and turned it into millions. But they didn't do it in 6 months or 6 weeks. There's a story actually about Richard Dennis, who's one of the people interviewed in Market Wizards. This is back in the 70s and 80s. He started with $2,000 and turned it into like 50 million. Over 15 years. After a year, he was probably break even or had made a little bit of money. Your time horizon needs to expand. So, putting a bit of money in, stop viewing money in such a scarce mindset, because it's the scarcity that's actually making you perpetually more poor. Because thinking that it's this weird logic, and I've been there. I have been flat broke before. There's been times where $500 was a lot of money to me. But, and I know exactly how you're feeling. If you've got $500, right, and that's all you have, you think $500 is a lot of money. But also, you've this weird trick your brain plays, and you're just like, $500 is nothing, right? Because you're comparing it to tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions. You're like, 500 is nothing. So even though it's all the money you have in the world, your brain also is like, yeah, but this isn't enough. We need to take big risk, go to the casino essentially, whether that's crypto or a real casino. It's all the fucking same if you behave like a gambler, and you piss it away. This is what keeps broke people broke. This is why casinos and betting shops are in the poor areas of town. The guy who has no excess savings, who has no savings, right? He has no rainy day fund. He has no money saved up, and he gets paid $1,000 at the end of the month. He lives off of 300, 400, and he cannot walk past the betting shop on the way home without going in and losing it. It's all set up to make you think that little bit of money you have, the only money you have in the world, it's all set up to make you think, yeah, but that's not enough. Look, you can't even buy a car. You can't even buy this nice watch. You can't even buy these nice trainers with that. It's all set up to make you think that you're not enough and that your money's not enough. So you'll do it. You'll just piss it away and give it to some big corporation. Be that a crypto exchange, some other rich trader, be it a betting shop, or wherever. People drink it away or fucking put it on drugs. You have to delay gratification. That 500 is all you have. Protect it. Put 450 away. Take 50. Use it to dollar trade. And commit that every single extra dollar you make in the next year, you're also going to stack it. So that 450 can become $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And you've then learned how to trade. And then you could actually take that 5 and start to multiply that with the skills you built. But if you try to multiply 500 with no skills, you'll lose it. If you wait a year, use 50 of that 500 to learn trading cheap, you'll then be able to multiply whatever you have, be that 1,000, 2, 3, 4, you'll actually be able to multiply that. The only thing standing between you and future wealth is 1 year. It's 1 year where you decide to learn cheap and to stack as much money as possible. You don't have to get 50 grand. You don't have to get 10 grand a month. You have to get more than you have now, plus the ability to trade. Then you can start trading full size and grow it. That's it. Don't make excuses for yourself. No coping. No one's going to come along and hand you money because you feel bad about being in a poor country, or that you're broke, or that go and outwork everybody. It's not about how much money you have right now. It's about how much more work can I do than the next person. If the average salary in your country is 500, how can you make 1,000? Just work twice as hard. Work twice as much. Get a second job. Get a weekend job. Get into one of the campuses here. Make more. It's not about going from 500 to 10 grand. Can you go from 500 to 1,000? Then you have double the average salary of your country. You're twice as well off as the next person. It's all relative. And then you can take that money, manage it smartly, and multiply it over time. But it all starts with reframing how you view money.